What's going on, guys? Frank Rich from MassTechMuscle.com. In today's video, I want to discuss and talk about back training, and more specifically, lats, because I think the back can be one of the most complex and complicated muscles to build. And if we're going to target and work the lats, which are going to help build that upper V taper, really help with the width of our back, making this appear that we have a smaller waist, we really need to understand how to properly train the lats. So I'm going to walk you through what I believe are 5 of the best mass building exercises for building wider lats. But before we get into these movements, let's first break down and talk about exactly how we need to think about and the thought process behind how we want to train the lats. So in order for us to fully work and contract the muscle, we need to kind of understand how that muscle's function is, and we need to understand the insertion point and then the origin. So our goal is always bringing those 2 points closer together. So the lats, their insertion is going to sit here underneath the humerus. So initially the fiber is going to run in a vertical plane. So they're going to run down here from right below our rear delt or our humerus. They're going to start to run down, and then they're going to come in almost a vertical plane first, and then horizontally wrap around and then originate at the spine. So as we can see, that is a downward, but then it's also got a horizontal motion, and they're one of the only muscles that actually runs in 2 planes. So in order for us to fully train them, we need to take that into consideration in every single movement that we do. So when you see me walk you through these exercises, you'll see how I'm actually working through that natural function, that natural movement of the lats. So I'll walk you through these 5 exercises, kind of explaining some execution cues and making sure that you properly are working the lats through their full and complete contractile range. And what you're going to notice is only one of these 5 exercises is actually using free weights. So if anybody out there is telling you that the only way to build muscle or to build mass is using free weights, then you need to reconsider who it is that you're learning from, because tensions or muscles respond to one thing, and that's the tension that you can create. That tension can be done with free weights, it can be done with machines, it can be done with resistance bands, it can be done with cables. All you need to worry about is working the muscles through their complete and contractile range, and then applying as much tension as possible. So let's walk you through these 5 exercises. The first one is going to be a 1-arm dumbbell row. And as you can see with my setup here, it's going to look a little bit different than from a lot of the way that people are performing this movement. I have my foot that I'm rowing with, actually that's going to be in front. So this is where I'm going to get the base of my support stability is going to be on the ground, driving hard with that right foot into the ground. And as you can see at the bottom of the movement, I'm really protracting out. So I'm really letting that arm extend out. And then my first movement is a retraction at the shoulder blade first. So I really want to contract and initiate the movement with the lat. Then I'm rowing in a back plane first. And as I get closer to the top, I'm really thinking about pulling that elbow behind me and placing my elbow in my back right side pocket. So first movement, guys, mass building exercises for the lats is going to be a 1-arm dumbbell row, specifically targeting and working the lats. Now the second movement is probably going to be the most complete as far as working the muscle through the entire complete contractile range. It's going to be a straight arm rope pull down. And as you can see, the length of my rope is a longer rope. If you don't have one of this length, set up 2 ropes. But what I like about this movement is it really allows you to get that full stretch at the bottom. And then because you're working through a free moving cable, you can really work in that downward plane first. So my initiation point is thinking about pulling the rope down, driving it straight down into the floor. Then once I get to a certain point, I can no longer go any further down. Once again, I'm thinking about bringing my elbows back behind me and slamming them into my back pocket. So second movement, guys, straight arm rope pull down using an extended length rope. Third movement is going to be a medium width underhand grip. Now lat pull down. Now with the lat pull down, as I'm working through the eccentric, what I'm actually thinking about doing is driving my elbows forward. So on the way up of the movement, I actually want my elbows to extend out in front of me, really lengthening and really getting the stretched portion of the lats working. And once again, as much as I possibly can, as I get closer to the bottom and really working on that contraction, I'm once again thinking about wrapping my elbows behind me, really squeezing my triceps into my lat, really shortening and contracting those lats. Now the fourth movement is going to be a 1-arm seated or 1-arm cable machine row. So depending upon where you're training at, this may be something you need to do on a machine, or if you had this cable set up on a 1-arm grip. And as you can see, my first movement is I'm depressing my shoulder down. So the side that I'm pulling to, I'm going to slightly bend to that side. I don't want that movement coming from the oblique. I don't want it coming from my abs. I just want to depress my shoulder down, thinking about putting my shoulder into my pocket this time. So really shortening and contracting that lat first. Now this movement is not straight back, but it's more, once again, everything is down first. So I'm depressing at the shoulder, pulling down, down, down. As soon as I can't get any further down, then I pull back. And this is the great move. You're really gonna feel these lats really shorten up and really contract. So that's our fourth movement. It's a one-arm seated cable or one-arm machine row. Now the fifth movement, this may be something that your gym does not have, but it's a hammer strength iso row with a step back position. Now the reason I'm stepping back is for two reasons, because I want to create a better alignment with the handlebar that I'm pulling with. So you can see I want to put my arm in a straight line from where that cable attachment or where that handle attachment is. And then from there, I'm taking a step back because I slightly want to change the resistance profile of the move. So if you had this iso, this hammer strength iso row, this is a fantastic movement. It's very similar to the feel you're going to get with a one-arm dumbbell row. It's just going to give you a little bit more stability. So that's why I chose to put this exercise last in this video, because A, it's going to offer a lot of stability. B, you may not have a hammer strength at your gym, but if you do, this is one of the best and complete movements that you're going to get as far as just working the lats without any other things having to really work. So set yourself up with your right leg, if you're pulling with the right arm first, with your right leg directly in line with that handle, and just extend out. Once again, our first movement is a retract back. So we want to really depress and retract that scapula. Then we're thinking about pulling down and back. So that's it, guys. 5 of the best mass building exercises to help you build wider lats. We got the one-arm dumbbell row. We got the straight arm rope pull down with an extended rope. We got a medium width underhand grip lat pull down. We got a one-arm seated cable row. And the fifth and final one is a hammer strength iso row with a step back. So that's it, guys. Really appreciate you tuning in today. Hope you found value in this video. If you did, make sure to give the video a thumbs up. Also, if you are new to the channel, please hit the subscribe button, turn the post notifications on so you are notified every time a new video is released. And if you're looking for some workouts to take your training and take your physique to a next level, hit that first link in the description box right there, www.masssettingmuscle.com/free week. Enter your email address. We'll send a free week of mass building workouts over to you guys right away. With that, guys, Frank Rich, Matt Setting Muscle, helping you build big, wide, strong lats. I'll talk to you soon.